This is the plaintiff, Michael Wilson. He says he hired the defendant, who claimed he was a licensed plumber, to do some work in his business. And when the town inspected it, it failed. The defendant, as it turns out, lied to him, wasn't a licensed plumber in his town, and the work he performed was worthless to him. The defendant refuses to return his $591.97, and that's why he's suing him today in this court. This is the defendant, Kenneth DeGrucci. He says he's been a licensed plumber for 30 years, and he performed a gas pressure test at the plaintiff's place of business. The plaintiff's business was in shambles. The gas had been turned off for a decade, and the town rejected his test over a technicality. He's done hundreds of tests in the town before without a problem. The town rejected the test because the plaintiff had the gas turned off for so long, and he can't try to blame him and ask him for his money back because he did the required work properly. He's accused of not passing gas.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant, who said that he was allowed to work in the town where he was doing the job, but the town said, you don't have a license here. The defendant says it got rejected on a technicality. It's the case of the plumber cracks me up.
Thank you, Douglas. Pasta Machines Incorporated, represented here by Michael Wilson. You're the owner?
Yes.
You're suing Kenneth DeGrucci, doing business as Ken the Plumber, for $591.97 to do some work that was of no use to you. Tell me what happened.
It was in December of 2014. We had the gas shut off at our building for approximately a year and a half.
Why?
Because I decided to use a wood stove. I had purchased a wood stove, a very large wood stove, and we were using the wood stove for heat in the winters because the gas prices were so high at the time. So we were using a wood stove.
This is what kind of a business?
It's a pasta machine manufacturing company.
You make the machines?
Yeah, we make the pasta machines.
Commercial machines?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead.
In any event...
so long as you don't say yes, sir, when I'm out of the robe. Go ahead.
In any event, the employees were... It was a very bad year that year. The temperatures went really, really down low very early on the season. So, you know, I had to get the... They told me, let's get the gas hook back up. I agreed.
Your employees wanted you to get the gas back, all right?
Yes, because it was, you know, a little cold. The wood stove wasn't cutting the mustard.
Okay.
So in any event, I looked on the internet. First, I called the gas company and told them to come hook up the gas. The gas company said, your gas has been turned off for more than a year, so we can't bring the...
How long had it been turned off for, according to you, by then?
About a year and 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah. So they said you can't get the gas hooked up unless you have someone come in and do what's called a leak test. A pressure test or a leak test. They're both the same thing. So
the leak test was for the gas company?
Yes, the gas company had to see a leak test performed by, and they said it has to be a licensed master plumber. That's the only person that can do the leak test for gas.
Okay.
It has to be a master plumber, not just any plumber.
Okay.
So I looked on the internet and I came, I looked at several different people and I came across Ken DeGrucci's site. Actually, it was his listing, and it said that there were a lot of good reviews. So I said I picked him. So. I had my secretary call him and make an appointment to come and get a price for the gas test and come and do it so that we could get the gas hooked up, that's what she told him. So he comes and he does the leak test.
Did you talk to him before he did any tests?
Me personally?
Right.
No.
So whatever conversation he had with your secretary, he comes and he does the leak test. He gives you the results, and what were the results?
The first time we didn't pass it, then he did something, and then the second time he did it, we passed.
Okay.
Okay. So now he said here, and I said, so this is all we need to show to the gas company so that we can get the gas hooked up. And he said, yep, that's all you need.
And you had paid him how much?
$591.97.
And then what happened that all of a sudden that wasn't worth anything to you?
Well, we faxed the copy of the test, the password said passed on it, to the gas company, and the gas company said, excuse me, he's not on the list of licensed plumbers in the town of Babylon. We can't accept that. He has to be on the list of licensed plumbers in the town of Babylon.
Had they told you that before then?
No.
They had just said master plumber?
Yeah, I didn't call up to find out, who I should pick. And besides, they said, we don't recommend anybody. The gas company said.
Right.
Yes.
And then they tell you, we don't recommend anybody, but no, that one's not good enough.
Right.
Right.
After I spent $591.87.
So they tell you he's not on the list of recommended people.
He's not on the list
a list of licensed plumbers in that particular town. Are you licensed?
I am licensed.
Where are you licensed?
I'm not licensed in Babylon where his building is.
Where are you licensed?
I'm licensed in Oyster Bay, just about everywhere else.
May I see any of your licenses?
Absolutely.
Okay, so go on.
So I called him up. I said, listen, we got a problem here. They won't accept your leak test because you're not in the town, you're not licensed to do business in the town of Babylon. He said, well, I had a license in the town of Babylon, but it expired and I never renewed it. Oh, well, that's just great. I mean, I presumed that TOB that was on his, it was listed, which I erroneously thought was town of Babylon, but it's town of Oyster Bay. So therefore, I presumed that he was, and besides, he should know that he's not allowed legally.
Wait, also your yellow pages say serving Babylon, don't they?
Not really, but
Not
again,
really.
Oh, really?
my yellow pages doesn't say Service Babylon. I don't have a yellow page.
What's this? I don't make this stuff up. Who handed me this? Did you? Did you print out these little yellow page things?
Yes.
Doesn't that say serving Babylon? At some point you were serving Babylon.
I don't know where you got this from, but
Yellow Pages online, I'm telling you.
I don't have a yellow pages ad, but I don't
All
know.
right, well, I guess they never took it down. Let me just ask you.
I do work in Babylon, and if I need to pull a permit in Babylon, what I do is I go and get a reciprocal license, pay the fee, and I get a license.
What's the reciprocal license fee?
It's about $100.
You mean I'm here over $100? You couldn't just go do it? Because the license will help you anyway. Then you got a license in Babylon, and if anybody needs a permit pulled for licensed work, you've got the license.
Well, this is what happened. He called me some 2 weeks later. If you look at my contract with his secretary, and that's who hired me.
Can I see the contract with his secretary?
Sure, absolutely. It has gas pressure test and job complete on it, signed with a copy of the check.
Right?
So anyway, he called me up and said, I need a permit for this job. And I said, well, why do you need a permit for the job? And he said, well, the gas has been off so long that they're requiring a permit. Generally, the gas company just requires that a licensed master plumber, which I am, does the test. I'm licensed and insured.
Have you ever done this before?
I've done 100 gas pressure tests.
So this guy has a license, but not in the city where he did the work. Is that deceptive?
What's deceptive mean?
Underhanded.
Okay, yeah, I think he's lying, so I don't think it was fair that he worked there.
I'm glad we got that square. What do you think?
Yes, he is very deceptive because license is what state gives the person the right.
Or city.
The city, right? But he doesn't have it in that city.
So even if he's got a license, it's got to be in that particular city.
Yes, definitely.
You all agree with that? You all agree with that?
I completely agree with that.
Okay, good. Good. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you ever talk to the gas company to try to work it out and ask them what the heck?
I was never asked to.
No, that's not my question. You have a dispute with him. Was he nasty?
I don't want to say anything bad.
Okay, but is that why you didn't go take the trouble to make a phone call?
What happened was he called me some 2 weeks later and said, I need a permit for this. And I said, I'll have to get my license in Babylon renewed.
Wait, when you say a permit,
He said I needed a permit, that we had to get inspected from the village. That's what he told me. And I said, of course I can do that for you, but you have to charge you more money because the job
what would the permit be for? The job was already, you needed a permit to do
This is what I never understood about the thing. He said he needed a permit from the town of Babylon.
You didn't need a permit from the town of Babylon?
The gas company didn't tell me anything like
Even
that.
afterwards?
No, the gas company just said, he's not licensed in the town of Babylon. And
Do you have anything in writing from the gas company?
No, but he's not licensed in the town of Babylon.
Yes, we know. My question was, do you have anything in writing from the gas company?
No.
Okay. For $100, you could have gotten your reciprocal license and solved this problem. Instead, you came here?
No, $100 would have got my license. I still would have had to file a permit to complete his job because it
Says
turns out.
who?
That's what he told me. He needed a permit.
But you don't know because you never bothered to speak to the gas company. You know what? Return the guy's money. $591.97, verdict for the plaintiff.
So in a fairly quick decision, the judge finds for the plaintiff in this case, Mr. DeGrucci, you could have solved this whole thing fairly simply, don't you think?
No, I don't think the judge really got it down right. The issue was a permit, and I could have filed a permit and I offered to, but he didn't want to pay any more money. And the job I was hired for, no permit was discussed at all.
So you don't think the judge got the message loud and clear from you?
No, not
You
in my
could have
opinion.
gotten a permit, though, right?
I could have. I
Yep.
did offer to, and I
No.
told him it would be more money, obviously, because it's more work.
Well, he'd have probably paid it. You could have avoided
he
court.
didn't pay it because I offered to him and he didn't pay. But anyway,
All right. Well-
I'm happy. You know, listen, plumbing's been very good to me. I've had a beautiful wife, 5 kids, 3 dogs.
Okay.
And
Good enough.
You run into bumps in the road sometimes. What can you do?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have to sign a few documents outside. All righty. Mr. Wilson, if you'll step out of the courtroom. Again, this seemed like a pretty simple case. It's a shame you had to go all the way through court and come, you know.
Right, well, I'm glad the judge saw it, for what it was. He just did business in a place that he wasn't allowed to do business because he didn't have a license.
So what's the situation with it now?
Which, the situation with the gas?
Yeah.
Well, it's still not hooked up yet,
Still not.
Our employees were able to live with the wood heater. We just...
They did?
I would get up, get there early in the morning, get it fired up so they would be nice and warm when they got there.
All right. Well, listen, good luck. Get it fixed sometime soon, okay?
Thank you.
Sign a few documents. All right, Mr. Levin, what do you think?
You know, Doug, there is a way to protect yourself. Call the agency that licenses the contractor. Make sure that they haven't been disciplined, that they have a bond, which is critical because if they don't do the work right and they skip out, you can use the bond to repair what they did improperly. Check with the board. It will save you a lot of grief.